Yo, what's going on guys, Khraze here, welcome back to another Cyberpunk 2077 video. Today, let's go over the most amazing armor pieces and clothing options you can find in this game. Of course, there's gonna be a ton of high-end shops out there that sell a ton of really awesome and fresh clothes, but in this video I'm gonna teach you which of these are the best, and even more so, how you can get the best versions of these clothes to begin with. So let's jump right into it, and as always, if you enjoyed this video at any point, don't forget to leave a thumbs up on it. Now there's a few things that you need to know about these stores in Cyberpunk. First of all, they work and refresh on a 24-hour basis. This means that if you wait one in-game day or skip ahead 24 in-game hours, you're going to see new batches of clothes in the same stash when you go ahead and visit it again, which is what we're gonna use to basically spawn the ones that we want a bit later on in this video. Second of all, when you refresh that, it's not just the batch of clothes, so the types of clothes that you can see in that stash that refresh, but also their quality. So if, for example, you see a pair of pants that you really like but they are only uncommon or green, you can refresh that store over and over again until you get that same piece of clothing up to epic quality. Not really sure about legendaries because I have yet to encounter a single legendary clothing piece in any of the 12 or 11 shops in the game, but you can absolutely get them up to epic quality with each and every single one of the items in a particular shop, assuming that you refresh it enough times. And this is kind of like the method that we will use today. Basically, we will check the stash. If we like what we see, we get the epics out of it. If not, we go back and skip 24 hours ahead. Now, in most of the shops, you need to exit the shop entirely to be able to skip ahead, but there's a few of them in there that you can basically do the trick right next to the shopkeeper. Now, let's go over the first one that I always use, and this is especially for all of you corpos out there. This is the Jinguji, I think, shop that you can find in the city center. It's basically right here on this side of the map, and I'm pretty sure there's also a side job related to this one that will unlock the shop for you. But basically, this is the one that you're gonna be using if you play as a corpo, as it has some of the best looking formal outfits, especially the Arasaka red one that you see me rolling with at some point. There's also a yellow one that I really enjoy, so both of these can be found exclusively right here, including the pants, the shirts, the coat, everything regarding this outfit. You can get it right from this shop. Now, on top of that, and probably the strongest point, is going to be these shirts and vest kind of combos that this shop is absolutely filled to the brim with. In this case, you can see me rolling with a ton of these. Basically, I refreshed the store until I got the epic variants of these and immediately purchased them. Like, there's a ton of really awesome options, including this El Dorado looking one that, yeah, you will definitely rock it. Like, if you're a rich corpo kind of rat, yeah, you're probably gonna love this quite a bit, especially with that legendary outfit that we were using before. But what's most intriguing about this is that it's probably one of the few, if not the only shop in the game that has a ton of Johnny Silverhand samurai style kind of jackets. A few of them will look like, well, different recolors, but some of them can look significantly different. Like, they might be shorter around the torso area, they might have different types of, for example, sleeves, but all of these look absolutely amazing. Like, this is your go-to place if you want to rock that samurai kind of look with the jacket, and yeah, this is basically the best shop if you want to do that. Now, there's a couple more in the corpo style that I also enjoy, but the one that I'm going to recommend is going to be in Japantown, around the southern part of it, so of course south of Westbrook. There's another high-end corpo type of establishment right here, and this is the only one that I found to sell this coat right here. It's called, I think it's the vampire kind of polymade rocker coat that looks like this. So if you want to look like kind of like a Sith type of character, this is probably gonna be your best option right there, especially since there's also a biker shirt with the turtleneck and red accents on it that works really well with this one. So what I did in this case is I combined these two with the previous red corpo outfits from the previous Jinguji shop that I just talked about. So overall, really amazing ones. Of course, the boots are also in the same shop, so you can essentially create this entire outfit from only these two shops right here. Now, if you want to go with a a completely different kind of style than the one that I recommend is going to be right here in Haywood in the western part of it, because this is gonna be essentially the opposite of corpo, neo-kitsch kind of punk, even rock a little bit over there. So definitely if you're playing as a street kid, this is gonna be the best one for you. Maybe even Nomad a little bit, like Nomad that comes in Night City, yeah, definitely fits that. But if I were to pick two of my favorites, one of them has to be this high collar leather looking vest, so durable high collar vest that you can find in the same shop that kind of gives you that biker kind of look. And it also works with one of the pants that you can find in the same shop. But if you want to go with something even more colorful, then this again loose cool quilt, like these names are really hard to pronounce, but basically it looks like this. If you look at the icons, you're going to know what these shirts and blouses are, because they will be the same in the shops too. Nonetheless, there's a few more options that I'm gonna go over. So one of them is going to be again completely different than these ones, especially if you want to go with something like the tiger claw type of look or samurai and ninja. There's a few options again in Japantown, but this time around in the northern part of it. So mostly you're going to always see at least some type of conical hat and some type of mask being sold right here, to the point that there's almost always going to be at least a handful of these at any given time every time you refresh them. So if you refresh them constantly, eventually it's going to be super easy to get the epic variant of the same clothes. But it doesn't just stop there. If you check, like for example the vest and even more so the blouse, there's a few very colorful ones in the style of the tiger claws. So this is probably going to be the best option for that if you enjoyed the tiger claw type of outfit, if you're playing with a katana. This is the only one that I found to have such an extensive set of clothing pieces that fit this style right here. Now another one that I find myself visiting quite often is this one in Watson, towards the left side of V's apartment. So you're going to find it right here by the side of the road. Now, as I've mentioned in a previous video, this is the shop that gives you a recipe to one of the best looking jackets in the game. So this yellow bomber looking kind of thing looks really nice. Again, you can get something close to this one in Jinguji. That is definitely gonna be an epic if you reload a few times, but it's not gonna be the exact same model, so there is a bit of a difference. Now, as far as the other items go over here, the only thing that I can recommend for this is the caps. You can find some really awesome composite plating kind of looking caps that look something like this. There's a white variant and at least another one that is more colorful that can work really well with these outfits. Otherwise, there's gonna be a bunch of legendary mods over here that are actually really powerful, like the Cool It to make you completely immune to burn effect, and there's also a Dead Eye for additional crit chance and crit damage, and these two seem to spawn very often when you reload the shop. So if you want these on your clothing and you have the money, this is the best place to come and buy these. This finally brings us to the final shop that I also find myself visiting quite a bit. It's gonna be right here in, I believe, Santo Domingo, onto the western part of it. So it's gonna be in Arroyo. Basically this is an open shop, so there's a keeper right here that is basically out in the open, and she sells a ton of military style of clothing. To be more specific, these pants right here that look really close to V's premium pants from that secret mansion we talked about previously in one of the videos last week. So this is the way you can find these very pants in the epic quality. I really love the look, it fits really well with my outfit, and it also has a bunch of other options in there if you want to go with like vests and protective gear, and even more so like caps that kind of give you that army type of look. Otherwise, not much to say about it outside of these really awesome pants. Maybe the fact that you can still roll with a nomad over here, and there's gonna be some really awesome jackets of that type, like there's some biker slash nomad type of jackets right here that you can pick. But again, there's a ton of other shops in the game, up to 11, that you can go ahead and visit. Unfortunately, the other ones that I've seen weren't really that worth it, and most of their clothing pieces were kind of already present in some of these. You should still visit those because they might still have some really amazing items that are not present in the shops that we covered today. But this is it. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.